Time now to move on, and I get to ask a question again. Once again, Officer Scher, you go first on this. Our next question is, do you think removing the thin blue line on patrol cars could limit the divide between the community and deputies? Why or why not?
So this is a contentious issue. I am thankful to those of you in our community outside of law enforcement that have had such passion in your response to my organization removing the thin blue line from our vehicles. I understand that you want to support and you want to make sure that law enforcement understands that they are valued and that they are wanted. We know that. We work for an amazing county. Every agency within Deschutes County has the utmost respect from law enforcement from the vast majority of our community. The thin blue line, unfortunately, has become a politically divisive image. All the way dated back to the 1970s, this image has gone back and forth from creating divide within communities. I believe that when we are working, serving our community on duty, it is not responsible for us to have any imagery that could potentially cause divide or cause any uncomfortableness with the communities that we are interacting with. As your sheriff, I also believe it's extremely important that we represent the law enforcement officers who've paid the ultimate sacrifice. In my time working in law enforcement, I have lost close personal friends on the job. And we must pay respect to those men and women who have given everything to our community. So if elected your next Deschutes County Sheriff, I will ensure that we represent and we respect and we pay homage to those individuals through imagery, whether it be on our vehicles or through our department in any other capacity. We will absolutely respect those. When it comes to the thin blue line, we will make sure that we do absolutely everything to not cause any sort of divide in our entire community, no matter who we're interacting with. Thank you so much.
All right. Sheriff Nelson, same question to you, sir. Do you think removing the thin blue line on patrol cars could limit the divide between the community and deputies? Why or why not?
No, I do not, and we are not going to remove the blue line off of our Sheriff's Office patrol cars. There's a couple of different things about the history of the thin blue line. I think it's important to note. In 1854, it started with the thin red line. It was the British troops that held the Russian cavalry back during the Crimean War. That translated to the thin blue line in the early 1900s because our United States military uniforms, the Army, were blue at the time. Then you fast forward to 1950s, Chief Bill Parker of the Los Angeles Police Department was using that as the border between order and chaos. Those who obey the law and the criminally minded. That is the public safety. My teammates came to me and liked the idea of the thin blue line. And I think the numbers tell the story. I mentioned 75,000 enforcement contacts, only 42 hands-on uses of force, and 30 complaints. That means the ladies and gentlemen know how to do their job, and we empower them to do their job. When you look at the citizenry that we serve, we don't have any divided issues there. I have not heard of anything that line has been divisive. You want to include everybody. That's why we're president at community events. That's why we reach out to Central Oregon Black Leaders Association. I don't find it too ironic, though, that my opponent would want to remove the thin blue line because he has close ties to the Central Oregon Peacekeepers. One of his top campaign aides marches with the Central Oregon Peacekeepers and frequently posts on their Facebook page. This is the same group, along with Central Oregon Diversity Project, who has been aggressive towards Bend police officers to the point of even harassing one Bend officer's family on Facebook. This is unacceptable. As citizens, we must follow and respect the law. As law enforcement, we must enforce the order of the law.
Sir, thank you very much. Officer Scher, you get 30 seconds in which to respond to that.
Thank you, Lee. I'm happy we got the history lesson on the thin blue line. It doesn't speak to what our community is expecting of us today. With that being said, we cannot have leaders that are continuously dividing our community. My opponent on multiple occasions specifically decides to call groups out by name because he has different ideology from them. This is not something we should expect from our local leadership. We have to have leaders who are willing to unify, sit down and empathetically listen to one another to find commonalities so we can work through our division and find the purpose that we're all here for.
Thank
and
you
that's
very
to
much,
raise
sir.
our families in a safe manner.
All right, that's time, Officer. Now, Sheriff Nelson, 30 seconds.
One point there. When a group decides to be in the spotlight and they want to have their voice heard, they become a public entity that's out there in the public forum. So I'm simply responding to their requests or their statements. They're the ones that put themselves in the spotlight. And as far as sitting down with every group, I will not sit down with the peacekeepers. They've shown that they are anti-law enforcement through posts on their Facebook, and it would not be productive. But they can email me any suggestions they have.
All right, thank you very much, sir. That's time for all of our questions. It goes very quickly, gentlemen. I thank you very much for your candid responses. Both of you very articulate and proving your points well, I think, here tonight. You're going to get time for a closing statement now. 1 minute. Officer Scher, if you would, sir.
Thank you, Lee. I'd like to thank KTVZ once again for hosting this event, and thank you, Shane Nelson, for participating, as well as thanking each and every one of you who has tuned in. The future of the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office is at a pivotal moment. We need a sheriff who's willing to face these challenges head on and finally bring the agency into the 21st century of policing. Being satisfied with status quo is a dangerous mentality. And with that, I'm excited to say that I am the only candidate who's released an actual plan on how we're going to take the agency to the next step. This is through our website that you can visit at sheriffforsheriff.com. Under my administration, we will create a dedicated traffic safety team. Our families should feel safe when they're on the road. And I will ensure that we reduce fatal car crashes, because we should not lose any more members of our community to this plague that we have seen over the last few years. I know that by coming together and unifying as one community, we will make Deschutes County the safest community in America. I'm Scott Scher, and I'd be honored to earn your vote. Thank you.
Very good, sir. Thank you very much, Officer Scher. Sheriff Nelson, you now have 90 for closing remarks.
Yeah, I think it's great what Mr. Scher said, because we're already doing those things. He makes it sound as if he just came up with it and it's just being rolled out, and that's not accurate. The other thing I'd say is, look, we've had 2 lawsuits dismissed, and the subject paid us $10,000. We've had 6 out of 7 lawsuits claims dismissed just recently, and 2 bully complaints. We have a time here where you need to know who you're voting for. I have been a deputy sheriff for 5 years, then was promoted to corporal, then I became a 7-year detective, 9-year patrol sergeant, 12-year lieutenant, 18-year captain. I've served in my community volunteering so I could have that close connection with everybody. I was born and raised here. By being a supervisor at every level, you learn how to mentor the folks you work with. You learn how to hold them accountable. You learn how to listen to the victims of serious crimes and form the community partnerships for problem solving. Our livability is important. The truth matters. Please do your research. SheriffNelson.com.
All right. Thank you very much, both of you. Sheriff Nelson and Officer Scher, I want to thank you both for being here tonight. Very good answers tonight. Now, this debate will be posted a little bit later on KTVZ.com if you want to watch it again. And we're hosting one more debate. It's here tomorrow night, and that is for State Senate 30th District. Incumbent Republican State Senator Len Finley and his Democratic challenger Karina Miller will be in the studio. That'll be right here at 7 p.m. once again. That'll be our final community forum of the campaign season. And of course, we'll be back with you later tonight with more local news and weather on First at 10 on Fox. So please enjoy your evening. We'll see you back here at 10.